Well, hello, friends and neighbors from around the world. Sid Hi here again with a sermon on Wow, We Have a Lot in Common. Now that I've finished the 12 sermons on different religions and their relationship to the commonalities, it has been both educational and amazing to learn about different approaches that have been used to embrace the commonalities. In some beliefs, there are individual gods that represent one or more of the commonalities. Some beliefs have only one God, which proclaim the commonalities through their religious texts, and some are based on the moral and ethical teachings of individuals that had such an effect on other individuals and their communities that their teachings spread throughout the land as a basis for living a civil society. Their impact was so strong that over time the individuals became deified even though there was no deity in their teachings, which nonetheless became a religion. It's also amazing to me how two major religions, Judaism and Hinduism, while basically no knowledge of each other, could still have the commonalities together, and also how many religions sprang up from these two religions. There is a company called Useful Charts, and one of the useful charts that I bought is World Religions Family Tree, and it shows which religion that other religions came from. I find it very useful, and I'll put a link to it in the description. But they have some other really amazing charts too. So, a little plug for them. For example, Judaism begat Christianity, which begat Islam, Catholicism, and Protestantism, which begat different religions off of them, ad infinitum, whatever, with basic variations on the fundamental theme, which is Christianity, and all of them should contain the commonalities. But no matter how or why these religions formed, they all embrace the commonalities, and a common theme or belief in all of them is doing good in this life will lead to a better afterlife. This is why this will be the defining belief for the Church of High Thoughts. And I find it fascinating that the concepts of what the afterlife will be is so different in these religions, but the way to get there in each one centers around the commonalities. Some religions emphasize choosing a moral and ethical life to accomplish this. Other religions say that moral and ethical living is commanded by their God, and you will be condemned to some form of hell if you don't. Side note, be leery of any religion that uses threat of punishment against you if you don't comply. This is one of the cult characteristics, so you might want to review the other cult characteristics just to be on the safe side, because just because you have one doesn't mean, you have all the others. But it's always good to keep your eyes open and pay attention. All right, so now that I have shown that these religions all have the commonalities in them, how and why have so many turned away from them? And are they truly still part of that religion if they exclude the commonalities? To understand the how, you really need to have at least a little understanding of how propaganda and the group mind works. I'm going to use real-world examples to illustrate different aspects of propaganda in future videos, but in this video I want to point out that fear is a propaganda tool that is used extensively in some beliefs and some religions. And while belief is just belief, there are real problems in the world that are truly to be feared unless we resolve them. We need religious leaders and politicians that embrace the commonalities to address problems like climate change, health care, living wage, homelessness, all sorts of technological things like microplastics, the loss of biodiversity, just the amount of garbage that we generate as human beings, and the whole consumption process. We have real issues that we really need to focus on, and not all of this other propaganda that has popped up. And in fact, that's the next thing. The why is it happening? Is because there are a lot of people getting rich by things that are making these problems worse. So they finance the sinister propaganda campaigns to change the public's views or reality on these topics. And remember, it can't be said enough, the job of a propagandist is to create the news, to shape reality. If it takes making up a problem or exaggerating a problem to make it seem much worse than it is, and thereby take the focus off of the real problems, they will do it. We need a society that can see through the sinister propaganda lies that are being told about these problems that are financed by those that are getting rich off of these problems. So I will once again preach about the virtue of being educated on propaganda techniques. And I still have so much to learn, but I also feel that we can learn together through these videos. It needs to be done if we're going to get anything done. My hope is that we commoners can see through and expose propaganda so as to influence society in such a way as to start addressing real problems. You could start your own YouTube channel or any other social media platform. Just get the word out however you prefer to make the pointing out propaganda as you see it that deflects from the real problems that the world is facing. So again, I will be doing future videos kind of outlining these, and it is amazing to me the state the world is in, and a lot of it is self-generated by propagandists and complicity, I would say, in the media for not pointing out what these are. It's a complicated time, so I hope these videos help, or at least getting people thinking about the commonalities and how it relates to them and their religions and the problems that we're dealing with in the world today. So that's what I'm shooting for anyways. Appreciate you watching. Hope you subscribe, tell your friends. I'm not asking you to join or donate or anything like that, but I think a grassroots movement of the commoners embracing the commonalities, when we look at people like politicians and our religions, the world will be a lot better off. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in all of the world religions now, would it? Anyway, that's my take on it. Until next time, I hope you all are doing well and paying attention to the commonalities. Thanks again.